Hey, Alex, this is Adrian Gomez. Special thanks to your father for putting this together, and just excited to see and look at what we can find. So, to increase your velocity and help your arm, out of your back leg, you're sitting at about 115 degrees, and this is something that could be increased drastically. I'd like or decreased. I spoke wrong. I'd like to see you sit into this about just a few inches down to here. So that hip, we're talking about 3 or 4 inches. We're not talking about a lot of movement. So back leg definitely needs to improve. Power to the back leg, that's something I want you to work on. As you plant, we'll see how far this goes. There's a little bit of a movement. We're about 11 degrees of movement with your front knee. And your front knee sets up and it's solidified based off of this, off of your front leg. If your front leg's not in position at the right time, your hip has to wait for your front leg to set up, and we don't want that to happen. We don't want that timing to be delayed. We want to push through with that back leg. So let's look at, as you plant, this back leg comes completely off the ground, and I don't want to have that happen because it's going to affect your chest extension. So you'll see where you throw the ball here is affected by your legs there. Really, your legs should be down on the ground, and your chest should be out here in almost a line. It's not going to be on the straight line for everybody, but that's the idea. Your back leg is your counterweight. It's a quarter of your weight. And so if that's coming up, then you're missing your ability to get out over that front leg and throw past your front knee. So that's huge, man. I mean, that's going to be something that could change the way you throw, and you're going to throw so much better just by keeping your back leg on the ground and continuing to push and rotate with your hips. So that's power to the back leg. I want you to work on that. There's going to be some great stuff for you. Your front knee, that's something that I want you to work on. That's pretty variable. Let's move to the next one. That's so front knee and the back leg I want you to work on. Right here, 106 degrees. This is pretty good. So you have a good extension. So you're extended a lot further than normal people. I think you should be about. You could go a little bit further, and I think why you're not going further is that leg comes completely off. So if you pushed a little bit longer and worked on getting out in front further, you could go maybe another foot, and that leg increases, and you're going to throw with our body even more. So it's a positive. That's something you could definitely do in a short amount of time to increase velocity. Is keep that back leg on and extend as far as you can with that front leg. Which leads us into the next one. So let's look at the other one. So I'm gonna measure this front knee. You're at 130 degrees, and we kind of stay there into release point. That's not bad. That's not something that I'm worried about. Eventually, I'd like to see this knee come back. That's going to help you. But a lot of this, the whole thing doesn't work when this back leg comes up. So we've got to get that back leg solidified on the ground and dragging through. So that's going to provide some balance for your chest. All right. Now we're going to move into posture at ball release. So your ball released here. I'm going to look at, let's see, not a huge movement. Posture here. So what I'd like to see happen is if you stayed back just a little bit and your upper body stacked back this way, your knees inside, upper body's back further, or your head's over that rubber, and if your head was back in this position, if we moved your head back further, you'd have almost zero head movement. So you'd literally stack and your head movement would be straight on. All of your energy would be going forward. Everything would be a positive. towards the target, you're going to really increase your ability to throw the ball well if you're doing that. Okay. So as we're done with that, as we get our posture right, that moves us into a launch, and this is where I want you to see this. All of those things could be affected and could be on the positive side. Right now, you're just a couple inches outside of your front foot, and I would like to see you even further. Number one, get your knee back. Number two, get your chest extended forward. We're going to talk about that in just a bit as far as measurements go. But yes, release that ball past that front foot, and that's the reason why we're really not throwing as far as we can outside that front foot.
So next, I want to see out of that release point. I want to see the stack. So the reason behind all of the power is you loading and getting everything right. So that knee inside, you're driving early with that knee, and your upper body stacking back. And I think that's something you got to work on, because right now you come in and all of a sudden all of this angle's going down. And yes, we want the angle going down, but when? We want the angle going down at the last second. So as you go forward, I want to stack back. And then at the last second, then that's when I'm going down. So stack back first, and then as I'm going down, I'm driving down that hill. Knees coming back, chest is driving through at the last second. That's where you're going to build power. So I want you to stack better. That's something that you can definitely increase for sure. Next one I want to talk about is your front glove. Let's look at where your front glove goes. You do a pretty good job of turning here. I want that to happen, but I want you to continue to pull this through so that you can drive with your chest. Chest first, elbow, then wrist, everything in succession. So front glove could be a little bit better. Let's look at it from this angle. It's a little bit low. I would like to see you stack better here with your front glove a little bit higher, and that's going to give you that tilt that you want, really pulling through, driving through here and pinching, and that's going to give that leverage, that positive disconnection to really throw the ball hard. So that's something that you can definitely work on, front glove. Let's look into the chest extension, and this is what I want you to look at, and this is something that I think you could really help, but that back leg's going to have to be fixed as well. So you're at 33 degrees, and the reason why you're at 33 degrees is because your back leg's off the ground. That's 48 degrees. So look at what 48 degrees looks like. 48 degrees has everything to do with your back leg being on the ground. And so if your back leg isn't on the ground dragging, then your hip's not rotating, and your chest isn't extending. So that's a lot of rotational force that you're missing just because your back leg came off the ground. So that's huge, something that you could fix, and you should be excited to change, because that's going to give you some serious advantage to throw the ball harder. Next two we're going to talk about is high elbow, how this looks like. So coming out of here, let's look at this right here. Out of this back leg,
measurement off of both of your shoulders,
and then
right off of your elbow. So at 180 degrees, that's perfect. That's exactly what we want.
That's fabulous. That's something that I wouldn't worry about at all. But I want to see, look at your
elbow here. If I took a cross section of your elbow right here, as you go through and you come outside, I don't want you to go outside of that elbow. I want to reduce it. You're going to go outside a little bit, but I want to reduce this so that you're driving maybe right around here. You're driving through, and that's going to increase your ability to go down and through your thumb through the ball and get through that ball a little bit easier without using a lot of your elbow, that you're using a lot of your body. We want to use your body as much as possible. So that's what we're missing, I think. So I want to reduce this just a tad, and what that's going to do is it's going to increase your ability to get out past your front foot. So I'd like to see you out here, chest extended to 48 degrees, and that release point gets easier and easier and easier. So all of that stuff is going to really be a positive for you. So thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.